welcome to Past Our Prime Sports Podcast with Joe Laporta, Frank Kellenberg. What up, Frank?
Welcome to podcast number 4, take 5. So do what we got to do.
We appreciate everyone's patience, and we'll start from the beginning. We'll start getting things rolling again. Like we said, a lot of things happened in the NBA this week. A lot of trade talks, a lot of potential land spots for two of the premier players in the league right now.
2 premier point guards.
First is Russell Westbrook. You know, we talked about him being with the Clippers. What do you think?
Like I said before, I truly don't think that he's going to fit with the Clippers because of the system he wants to be in again. He wants that Thunder system where everything runs through him, everything's touched through him. He wants to be the main focus again. And I don't believe that in LA he wouldn't even be the 4th. He'd be maybe the 4th or 5th best player in that city.
Yeah, but they need a point guard.
100%.
They're all in.
Yeah.
And it's kind of one of those things where if he goes there, he cashes in with this trio, they could restart in 2 years and start the rebuild again.
What I was hearing, though, is that he was actually going to get traded for Paul George.
No, it wouldn't be for Paul George.
That's what I heard. I heard that he might actually get traded for Paul George in a mega trade.
I think the Clippers begin with...
bit thinking about it. Paul George, going back to the 2. Because Paul George is that player that can play the 2 or the 3, and James Harden's like a 1 or 2 combo.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of the top 2 best combo guards in the league.
Okay.
That can play the 1 and 2 position. So if Paul George, if they actually flip, that wouldn't be too bad. The only thing that would be different is maybe the contracts. Because I know Russell Westbrook is getting paid where he is. So that's another major thing that has to get taken to play. But what I think one of the best landing spots for him might be the Hornets.
Really, the Hornets?
Yeah, he's a Jordan alum.
Yeah, but there's no trade rumors about that with the Hornets, though.
Yeah, but they have they have the number 1 cap. They're going to have the number 1 cap over the next 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a lot of young assets, and they can get rid of trades.
Yeah, but New York Knicks is the second one that's really...
Oh, yeah, of course.
Big land spot. They have a lot of money. They could eat all that money that he's given because
easily
Westbrook's one of the highest paid players, and his salary goes up. And with the NBA cap, it's not increasing the next few years because of this short season.
Of course.
So they need that extra wiggle room, and they have a lot of young guys they could give up. And they still have Mitchell Robinson, and they have R.J. Barrett. That can actually work really well, where you could let Westbrook take over the game and let these 2 guys develop under Westbrook.
Yeah, it would. Of course, I believe the Knicks would be, but it's the Knicks.
Oh, yeah.
Or are they going to pull that trigger?
Well, that's the whole point. It's the Knicks. They pulled that with Carmelo years ago.
They just
didn't work out.
They just did it with Kevin Durant. They didn't want to pull the trigger too much money on Kevin Durant. Healthy Kevin Durant is the 2nd best player in the NBA.
But now they have a new coach, new system coming in. I believe a new GM as well.
Most likely.
So, and the third one I'm hearing is the Magic.
The Magic?
Yes, they have a lot. It's going to be a very messy trade.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of moving parts.
It helps out both of them because they can get cap space out from the Magic. And you know what? If he does go to Magic, that means Harden's going to somewhere.
No, I heard Harden's all in.
No, I'm saying if the trade happens with Magic, that means Houston is going to dump Harden too, eat some cap from Magic, and take draft picks and move along and rebuild again. So the second biggest player is CP3.
Oh, I would love to see where he goes because he took a team that the Thunder had a 2% chance making the playoffs when he went there. And then they literally were they made it past the first round.
Yeah.
For a team that made a 2% chance. Their second best player was Gallinari.
They thought they were done.
Oh, it was done. It was rebuild, send everything over.
Then all of a sudden they're sitting there, playoff contention, and they ran with it. And remember, they got 2 number 1s from Houston?
4.
4
number 1s, and I think they have around...
I'm sure it was 2 1s and the 2 swaps.
They also traded Paul George.
Yeah.
So they have around 6... I think they have 6 first-round picks within the next 2 to 3 years, which is insane.
And now if they give up CP3, they'll gain another 1 or 2 draft picks and young assets.
Easily. And they have no cap. They have no cap.
And that's why I think the Knicks will be a good land spot for them.
The Knicks are always a great landing spot because it's the mecca of basketball. It's New York City. Everybody wants to play in the Garden.
CP3 always wanted to play in the Garden.
Of course he does.
He would actually help the young guys too on the team.
Easily,
he would elevate Mitchell's game. He would elevate Barrett's game. And guess what?
What's up?
The president of the Knicks?
Yeah.
Rose.
Mhm.
That's CP3's old agent.
So that's 100%.
They have a connection.
100%. That would be a great landing fit, but I think
The Knicks could hold on to that money and still get another player. Now you come a viable place where people want to actually come to New York.
yeah.
Even if he's on I think it's 2 years left on his contract.
Don't matter. It's Chris Paul.
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
playing
Doesn't
with
matter.
Chris Paul.
And he's gonna develop these guys, and they can bring in another guy eventually.
What I was hearing is that he actually wants to go. A good trade for him would be to Phoenix.
Yes, I had that down.
Yeah, him
Suns-
paired up with Devin Booker to elevate his game to the next level would be. Remember, the Suns didn't lose a single game in the bubble.
Yes.
They
But-
didn't lose a single game, and that roster is not a top tier
But
roster.
the
And they
Suns
beat
can't
everyone.
give up picks though. It's gonna be end up giving up Ricky Rubio, Kelly Oubre, and Cameron Johnson on seed. And that's gonna be 3 for 1.
But that's fine. You take that trade. You take that trade because you still have Devin Booker. You still have DeAndre.
Yeah, but
Ayton.
what are they getting back in return? I don't think they're getting the golden ransom where you can go to another team and get a little more.
But
At
they're
least the Knicks could throw in a number 1 with the young guys because they're still in rookie contracts. They still have upside. Like Frank could play pretty good.
Yeah.
What's the other guy?
They have. To be
They have a
honest,
couple young assets that have a lot of upside. They haven't been playing well, but they have upside.
yeah, I think the Suns and another team that was like weird in the conversation was the Mavericks. I wasn't a big fan of them.
Yes, but that deal is for dead money.
Okay.
So they'll take in CP3.
Mm-hmm.
They'll give up. I think the Mavs have to give up 2 number 1s, but they'll eat dead money for them. So that's the
Okay.
whole idea. So yeah, we'll take CP3 for 2 years, but you take these dead contracts so that they'll be having like no money spent for
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul, but they have to give 2 draft picks.
Yeah, I just don't know about
But with
that.
the Mavs, that'd be pretty good for them.
I don't know because Luka's kind of like ball dominant. He has that like really sense of need of the ball because we've seen what he did in the playoffs.
Yes.
He full blown put that team on his back and he made them. He went to Game 6 with the Clippers.
But CP3 distributes the ball very well. He gets everyone involved. And he elevates everyone's game because now, you know what? They're not going to be on top of Luka, on top of the key, where now CP3's top of the key, and Luka could get open more.
Yeah, actually, it might help him out in the long run, the longevity of his career, because he can learn from Chris Paul. But I feel like, I don't know, I hope they get it done soon because the NBA's starting up next month.
Yeah, and another big land spot I'm hearing is the Jazz.
Yes, him and Donovan Mitchell patch, and
Yes.
they get rid of.
They're saying a full swap for Mike Conley
Yep.
and give up 2 first.
I mean, but they can lose those two first because they're still a playoff team regardless.
It's a first for 2022, I believe, and
Okay.
another first for 2024.
Oh, okay. So,
So-
it's not consistent.
And I think
2
it's
years?
a top 5 protected in 2024 they're talking about.
Yeah, because I don't think the Jazz are going to get a top 5 pick. They're constantly a
Yeah.
playoff team.
So, but I mean, that's a good trade too. He'll be a good fit with the Jazz as well.
Oh, easily. Him paired up with Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, Joe Ingles. That's a great starting team right there.
And I think CP3 will go before Westbrook.
Yeah.
I think he benefits with a lot of teams because CP3, he even talks about being a coach in the future.
Well, he is the president of the NBA. The
Yes.
NBA PA, personal.
Mhm.
Yeah, so if he runs that, then I could definitely see him coaching
He'd be
the
like the
team.
Jason Kidd thing. Play for the
Easily.
last 2 years and all of a sudden transition to a coaching role for that team that he goes to.
Which I believe is probably going to happen for Udonis Haslem.
Mm-hmm.
Because Udonis Haslem is considered an untouchable to Pat Riley.
Mm-hmm.
We also got to see with the Heat. The Heat are always a team in the playoff for a free agency.
Yeah, but I don't know how their cap is. I think they're tight with their cap now.
They're not tight at all. Who the
Yeah.
only person they got to pay is Jimmy. And he's already paid.
I thought they had some dead money on.
No.
You sure the dead money's gone?
Gone. They have nobody. They have no dead money.
I thought
They
had-
can't.
all
So
right.
they're the big. They really want Giannis.
Mhm.
That's who they truly want. So if they can grab maybe Chris Paul, I don't really think they grab Westbrook. I think they grab Chris Paul.
I think it's either or. I don't think they get both of them.
No, I think Chris Paul would probably be a better fit because Dragic is a great point guard and all, but I don't think he's on the same caliber as Chris Paul. And plus, they have such a young team. Tyler Hero was 20 years old playing in the finals,
Mhm.
starting in the finals. They have Tyler Hero, who's I don't think 4 out of 5 people are starting on their team are under the age of 25.
Wow.
So now you bring a great veteran with Chris Paul. He's gonna elevate the game. You saw what he did with Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. Now you pair him up with Bam Adebayo.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna take his game even to the next level. And Bam Adebayo was one of the major reasons they got to the finals.
Yeah.
So if you have them two paired up, and you still got Jimmy Butler, who was playing out of his mind in the finals.
Oh, yeah. He showed that the 76ers screwed him up.
Oh, he was so happy to be at. Them, Minnesota, and Chicago all showed that they were wrong. That Jimmy was not the problem. It was them.
Yep. So it'd be interesting. It's be an interesting trade.
I can't wait.
So let's go to Major League Baseball. A lot of talks today.
Very big breaking news today.
Go ahead. You want to release it?
The Marlins have hired Kim Young. I believe that's her name. I apologize if I say it wrong. She becomes the first female general manager in MLB history. And she's also the first Asian manager in MLB history, which I believe is insane. And her credentials are there before anybody jumps on the gun. They're doing this because of... No. She's been the senior vice president of baseball operations for the past 9 years, and she was also the assistant general manager for the Yankees and the Dodgers. So to me, I feel like that's a great move for baseball. It's a great move for history. It's a great move for sport. It's a great move for women.
Yeah, and Derek actually knew her when she was with the Yankees. So they do have a relationship since, Derek really runs that team for
Of course.
president of operation role. But even the Marlins were great. Even they had the awards, and if you go right to the manager awards, Don Manley won Coach of the Year.
Hey, man.
It's the first playoff appearance in 17 years for the Miami Marlins. He had a massive roster overhaul.
Oh, he had an uphill battle. It was an uphill battle all year.
Half the team had COVID.
It was
He had,
insane.
almost 50 plus different starting lineup card changes.
And he still took it on the chin.
You know what? They still made playoffs. They played great. They had huge winning streaks.
You put that in any other sport, most teams aren't making the playoffs like he did.
Mm-hmm.
So I 100% agree with this decision of him giving the National League.
And also now you go to the American League. Still in Florida, you have the Rays.
They got a little money ball going on
Yeah,
over
with
there.
Kevin Cash did great. First, AL East title since 2010. And they took down the Yankees, hard division with the Red Sox.
Yeah,
It's very good AL East. And
not many people like them, but the Astros are there too, and they beat them as well.
Yeah.
So, and they don't have any real big all-star players.
No.
Their team was built on teamwork and getting to the next level.
I believe they said Mookie Betts made more money than our whole payroll.
I wouldn't be surprised. But that's what the Dodgers give to you, though.
Yeah, and if you go to the MVP awards, you have Jose Abreu for the American League.
Mm-hmm.
He's the first White Sox since Frank Thomas to win it.
Ooh, Frank! I haven't heard that name in a while since he's doing commercials.
He led the MLB in slugging, RBI, and hits. He deserves it. Played great this
100%.
year. Got the huge contract 2 years ago, so he'll be getting another big one coming up. Then you have the National League of Freddie Freeman, second MLB in OBP, batting average and slugging. He played great for the Braves. They won the National League East.
Yeah.
They look great this year, so great player and a great team. Then you had the Cy Youngs. You have Shane Bieber, first pitcher since 2011 Verlander to win the Triple Crown for pitching. That means he led in wins, ERA, and strikeouts. He only had 8 wins, but remember, it's a shortened season.
Yeah, I was looking at the wins,
Yeah.
and you kind of second guess on it.
It
But
makes
then
you
you're like,
rethink,
it's a
like
very
8 wins. Yeah, that's
because
usually
the rotations, they don't pitch every day.
60 games, so you really don't get that many in there.
No, you can't get all those in there. And some of those you pitch and you don't win, you don't get the win. So it's
And he's the first unanimous vote since Verlander to win the award.
really
Yes, so
okay.
a lot of great things. Then you have, and even though he played great, the Yankees did bang him up in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, that's kind of what we do.
Then you have the National League of Trevor Bauer, who led the NL in ERA, WHIP, and he had 2 complete shutouts.
Ooh,
So he's another great pitcher. Showed great things this year. Shortened seasons, so with shortened seasons, the pitchers do a little better. They
it
don't
showed
have
that
to
he
pitch
also
as much. Their arms don't die when they get to the playoffs.
he had 12 strikeouts per 9 innings on this short season.
Yeah.
So that's a great accomplishment in itself. No
And
matter
right-
what the season is.
Mm-hmm. A lot of these guys now looking to get paid. The Yankees looking to make some moves. They have a couple guys in the trade block.
Well, you always
So
they want to get
Sanchez,
better.
they talking about Sanchez on his way out.
I heard that Sanchez is always on his way out.
Yeah, well, they tried to get rid of him last trade block, but no, I mean he's a home run or strikeout guy.
Yeah, but that's kind of the whole roster though. So I see why they want to
as
move
much
him.
as him.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's always like that. So if they move him, they need a
Mhm.
consistent hitter.
And with Stanton in the DH role, you can't even throw him in DH.
Nope.
And when he's catching, he's useless.
Yeah, he's
So
not
he
really
has
the
to-
best back there.
He has to go to a team that needs a DH, and he could redevelop his skills. Otherwise, it sucks because he was one of the guys we thought would be in that new core 4,
Oh yeah,
and now he's not. So he's on the trade block, and Yankees are gonna make a lot of moves this offseason. We'll see what happens to them.
I believe they still have it.
All right,
Yankees.
Frank. We'll go to your favorite sport.
Oh yeah, we got football.
We got
baby.
football.
It was a pretty interesting game last night with the Titans and the Colts. The Colts came back after getting their teeth kicked in the beginning against the Ravens last week. They came back and Derrick Henry still ran like Derrick Henry, but DeBrickashaw Ferguson was in the backfield all day against Ryan Tannehill. He was destroying those Titans O-line. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the Colts might have a chance to keep crawling, and that division's wide open.
And Old Man Rivers is still.
Rivers.
He's still there, man.
That's a great name for him. So I heard you got a couple locks going on now.
Well, I got a couple of good picks this week.
Who you got? Let me hear.
All right, the first big one. I love Philly over the Giants.
You like?
Philly's giving up 3.5.
Is this a Giants fan talking bad about the? So you're rooting for the Eagles?
No. Being unbiased. Unbiased. I go by the analytics.
So that's your number one lock?
Not my number one.
That's
Not my number one.
if you got money to spend, you throw it over there.
This is where I throw it.
Okay.
What I really like in the game though is the over.
The over.
The over is 44.5.
Okay.
I love that number.
Any specific reasons?
So Philly's giving up 3.5, and the Giants are home too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. So that's really, if they played in Philly, it should be around 6. Philly won the last 8 games against the Giants.
Well, it is the Giants. Can't be.
Philly is averaging 23.2 points per game this season. Philly is surrendering 25 points. The Giants are averaging 18.7, and the Giants are running around 24.3. If you add them all up and you figure it out, it's always over 44.
Okay, so
you figure they're going to be over. The Giants really don't cover.
And if you actually look at it, the last time they played, they scored 43 points combined.
Yeah. And I think the Giants are playing a little better.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get a couple more scores up there. Philly's playing Philly how they always do, but they always play hard against the Giants.
Of course, but they're always injury written, and they also.
Well, they're starting to get healthy a little bit.
Alshon Jeffrey is, I think he's off the injury report now for the first time this whole season.
Yeah.
He's been banged up with knee injuries during the offseason.
So I believe Philly's getting a little healthy, and I think it can be a good game. Might be a little bit of a shootout, I think.
Hey, you never know.
Because Giants defense hasn't really played.
They just let up, I think, 20 points to Washington, and Washington's maybe on their 4th or 5th string quarterback.
Philly's defense is trash.
Yeah, on their back end, they're not playing as well. Darius Slay is still playing as great as he is, but.
So I think it's to be a high scoring game, and I think Philly's gonna win by like a touchdown. I think.
So you get Philly.
So that's why I love
7.
Philly.
Well, yeah, the 2.5. That's kind of a. What'd you say? 2.5, 3, 3.5. Yeah, you kind of give Philly that one. I know me and you're gonna bicker about this one, but I believe the Bengals will definitely cover. I've seen 9.5. I've seen 7. I take either of those two numbers.
Well, the number is going to be a little stray because Big Ben.
That's what we're still
he's
waiting
still with
on.
the COVID, but I've been reading articles that he's just rehabbing. He's doing what he regularly does on his own. He's in the facility in the quarantine area with only certain people that could go around him.
Because I know he sat next to Vance McDonald on the plane.
Yes.
So that's their big issue.
Because Vance McDonald did test positive for COVID.
Yes, he did.
Big Ben did not.
So we're still waiting on that.
So in NFL protocol, you have to test again twice within 5-day period. If you get 2 negatives, you're clear to play. 5-day period will end Saturday.
Well, they're also pretty good, too, because they play at the 4:25. It's not like the 1 o'clock.
Yeah, and it's not like Big Ben's sitting at home doing nothing.
No, of course. And he's been on the team since, 03?
He knows the system. It's practically his system now.
100%. That's why I love Pittsburgh. That's why I always love their franchise, because they don't change coaches even through a down season.
Yeah.
Most teams, they're like, oh, no, get him out of here, see you later. They don't get him time to develop. Mike Tomlin had down seasons, and now he's definitely the front runner for Coach of the Year this year. And they were talking about trading him last year. And now he's Coach of the Year. So that's why you have to sit sometimes. You have to wait on it. Don't jump ship. Don't abandon ship.
It's that defense, too. And that's why I know you like the points, but their defense is playing so well. I think they might tear apart a rookie quarterback.
No, of course, but the Bengals are 8-2 this year against the spread.
Well, I think the spreads are only get better with them because they're a little surprised how well he's been playing.
I think he's Rookie of the Year, Joe Burrow.
So I think Vegas is catching up to it, and they're going to start adjusting the lines a little better for it. And like I said, this line's wacky because of Big Ben and the COVID scare.
Yeah, so that's why.
This could be the upset of the year for them too, for the Pittsburgh.
100%.
This could be the game that
This could be the game
gets
they
screwed up.
lose. I would not be surprised.
Playing, not playing too well against the Cowboys. This could be the game.
I would not be surprised at all.
But as a better, I would fade it. I know you like it, but I would fade it.
I'm telling you.
But the game I think is a lock this week. This is my pure
Let me
lock
hear your
of the
pure
week.
lock of the week.
Cleveland over Texans.
Okay.
Cleveland's home.
How come?
They're giving up 3.5 points.
Okay.
Now Cleveland, on the downside, they did lose the last 5 matchups.
Yes.
They did. But this year, Texans 31st in the league in running, defending the run. Guess who's coming back?
That man, Nick Chubb, with one of the greatest quotes of all time. They asked him, "Why don't you celebrate as much?" Quote, end quote. You ever seen a commercial for a Lamborghini? The amount of sass that comes with that comment is the reason why I believe he's the third best running back healthy in the league.
But
Easily.
that's not even the main player coming back.
Who you got?
Wyatt Teller, the guard.
Oh.
He's going to help make a stronghold for this O-line, who've been playing great already.
Uh-huh.
And now he's coming back, I think since he's been out since week 5, I believe.
I believe so.
He's fully healthy now. He's coming back to an O-line that's been holding up pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Gives extra protection from Mayfield. I'm telling you, he's the main asset coming back this week. He's only going to make that run game even stronger, even better against the Texans, who cannot defend the run.
Yeah, and they actually spent a little bit of money on Ben Cunnington, I think his name is, or Zach Cunnington. He's been playing out of his mind for the Texans, but it's really just him and J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
And I heard J.J. Watt wants out. He's
He
tired
wants
of
out.
rebuilding. He
He's
doesn't
dying
want
to
to
go
be
with his
there.
brothers. He's dying to go
And
to
now
Pittsburgh
if
with
he
his
goes to
brothers.
Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
but I just wonder where he fits.
Yeah. But one last fact, though. Texans haven't covered the spread in the last 6 road games.
And they're on the road once
And
again.
I really believe this spread minus 3.5 is good right now. I think it's going to go up maybe to 5
You think so?
by game time.
So you think we got to jump on it now?
I think it's a jump on now. If it goes up to minus 5, I think it's still good, but you're losing a 1.5.
A game, actually, I believe that people should take. How do you not jump back on Buffalo?
Oh, see, I'm opposite on you.
I like the +3 for Buffalo. Buffalo wins. They win big.
Mm-hmm.
Their only close game really that they won, I think, was New England, and that's a divisional game. We're talking about Arizona, who's a little banged up.
Mm-hmm.
Hopkins isn't playing at the healthy as he is, but he's still dogging everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But now he goes against Tre'Davious White. Buffalo just shut down Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
You think they can't shut down Kyler Murray?
Well, right now, a lot of the bettors are taking Bills. The line moved about a point. It was minus 3.5, stuff coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some sites have it at 2.5 right now. At 2.5, I might take the Cards. I think it's going to be a field goal game difference.
Nah, I think Buffalo wins by at least 7.
Nah, listen, the stats don't lie. Bills are 1-4 against the spread being away. Cards are 5-3 against the spread overall. But the main thing is the overline.
Okay.
Both of these teams smashed the over.
They score.
And this overline already went up 7 points.
7?
7.
Oh.
It went. I think it opened up around 44, 45.
Yeah.
Now it's over 50.
Are you touching that?
That's a big jump. That means a lot of Vegas bettors took it in the beginning because they knew it was going to go up.
100%.
So if you got it in the 40s, I would grab it. In the 50s, I don't know.
Let it be.
It could be like a 24-20 game.
What's the under? Do you know the under for Baltimore and New England? Because that's probably going to be a low scoring game.
No, but bettors are hammering the Ravens.
They're already right now. I see them as a +6 and a 5 minus. They're given 6 and a 6.5 right now. So I wouldn't touch that game though.
No.
That's not even just being a Patriot fan. I stay away from that game.
Patriots look a little better. Yeah, against the Jets, but they looked a little better.
100%. And
Ravens going to Foxborough. The weather is getting colder. And they depend on that run game. And
New England can take away that run.
One mistake, one little mistake, and New England, Bill Belichick would take advantage of it.
They kind of have the same system where, like, if the Patriots have a lead, you're kind of not catching them. Because the way they run the ball so efficiently with all 3 running backs and Cam Newton, it's kind of hard to catch them.
Well, that's it. Whoever takes the lead doesn't play keep away from the other team.
100%. You have to.
It's going to be a keep away game. I think it's to be low scoring.
That's what I'm saying. If there's an under on that one, I take the under on that one.
It's definitely be low scoring.
I don't believe
And
it.
depending on weather, I don't know what the weather in New England, but if it's raining, it's going to even destroy the game even more because then more fumbles, more possibilities, turnovers.
100%.
But it'll be interesting.
And all three running backs of Baltimore aren't playing to the best of their ability right now. They're truly being carried by Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. And a quarterback should not be the lead rusher on your team.
No.
It's
okay.
You are.
It's great that he is, but he needs some help. And they have J.K. Dobbs and Mark Ingram, who's coming back from injury. They're just not playing as well as they should. That's what I think we see what's going on in Seattle. Seattle just got almost blown out by Buffalo because their run game hasn't been as good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's rough. They're on their third string running back, but I believe they're getting Homer back, Chris Carson, and he's supposed to be practicing this week, but I don't know if he's gonna. Mm-hmm. They're probably listing him as doubtful.
Yeah, and I think Seattle's gonna slow things down a bit.
You believe so?
Get healthy. They have to.
Yeah, they really need to get healthy.
Even Wilson, you don't want to.
No, you don't want to overwork him.
Either, yeah.
What do you want him to have a great MVP season, get in the first round of playoffs? See you later.
I think they might start slowing things down.
But we got to see what's up with Tampa Bay now. This game's very important for Tampa Bay because Carolina fights very hard. Mm-hmm. They're not a team you're going to be able to put away. And they just got embarrassed on national television from what happened with the Saints. So this game right here is very important. Also, Christian McCaffrey's probably out again with new injuries of his shoulder and ribs. So now they're going to...
I don't know why they haven't sit him yet. They need to...
You think he just does IR?
Not shut him down, but... He's their future.
Yeah, he really is.
He's their future.
And they're playing relatively well without him, too. Mm-hmm. Mike Davis is really doing his thing there.
Yeah.
Thank God this isn't a contract year for Christian McCaffrey.
Yes.
Thank God he got paid last year. Because if this year was a contract year, they'll be like, oh, well, Mike Davis is doing almost the same thing as you. Mm-hmm. So this really would affect him.
It'd be like the Pittsburgh situation when John Connor came in, did the same thing with Bell.
Yep, and
it's like, what do we need you for?
Later, Bell for. Now Bell's a backup.
Yes. But Bell's a whole nother story.
That's a whole different time. So do you believe Miami beats the Chargers?
I like the Chargers.
Miami's giving 1.5. So they're basically saying, we have no clue.
It's a toss-up. It's definitely a toss-up. Mm-hmm. Chargers haven't been playing well. Mm-hmm. A few little tweaks here and there, and they would have won a lot of games.
A lot of games. Almost like Atlanta.
But I think it's like Phillip Rivers 2.0.
You think so?
It's like, you're there, but you're not.
Okay.
You put up great stats, but guess what? You never got over the hump. And if this is the future for them, I feel bad for them. It's another hard decade.
Because they're not building that offensive line like every other team in the NFL is doing.
It's like they have amazing weapons that come in and out of there like crazy.
Yeah.
How many times they get a big weapon there for a contract year?
And then,
3-4 years, and all of a sudden they disappear.
Yep. Well, Austin Eckler,
he's still hurt.
He's still down.
But I think they're saying he's 2 weeks away.
Yeah, and Justin Jackson just went down. Mm-hmm. Their best running back last week was, Kellen Balaj? He was just promoted from practice squad. Yeah. Because Tremaine Pope has just had a concussion. He's out of concussion protocol, so he will be playing. But now your starting running back is your third string, fourth string, and fifth string running backs.
Well, the NFL this year in general have been struggling with running backs.
Oh, 100%. Everybody's going down.
Where it's interesting, we usually have abundance of running backs. Oh. This year they're struggling with running backs.
Yeah. Too many players have been hurt. Can't believe Dalvin Cook. Knock on wood for him, but Dalvin Cook's been very healthy and playing out of his mind. Mm-hmm. I think he has around 500 yards rushing in the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
That's MVP numbers.
And when the backup played when he was hurt that week, I forget his name.
Addison Morton?
Yes.
Mortison? Yeah.
He did nothing.
Nothing.
So that shows that Cook is carrying
it's Cook.
Offense. Yes.
It's not like the offensive line's going crazy that you can put any running back there. It's Cook.
Yeah.
You got to let him go. And now that's what keeping Minnesota kind of in the conversation of that division. Mm-hmm. Because before it was like, all right, they're selling shot. They lost almost their whole defensive line. They traded for Ngakoue and then got traded him. Mm-hmm. They trade for him and then trade him. They lose Danielle Hunter for the year with bicep injuries. Mm-hmm. And they lose Everson Griffin.
Yes.
Who Everson Griffin goes to Detroit now. So he wants a big revenge game against Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So when they link up, that's going to be a great topic to talk about.
Yeah.
Because Everson Griffin was the face of that defense for a long time.
And Minnesota's a little disappointing here and there.
It is. Kirk Cousins is not playing to the best of his ability. And I feel like we always have this conversation.
I think Cousins was just one of those players, got the big contract, and that's it. He's another Joe Flacco.
$84 million guaranteed.
Yep. No, that wasn't even the best deal. It was just the best guaranteed deal.
Yeah.
And you know
He
what?
was getting paid more for the Jets?
For him, he needs a guarantee.
Oh, yeah, because
he would have been cut.
See you later. He would have been gone.
Most teams, he would have been cut by now.
And he's not one of these people like Lamar Jackson who's having not the best year for him. He has the weapons.
Oh, he has a lot of weapons in that team.
His two running backs. Morrison isn't playing as well as he is, but he's still a great backup running back. Dalvin Cook's playing MVP level.
Morrison can catch.
Yes, they all can do that. Justin Jefferson's playing on some Rookie of the Year
Potential
level.
rookie, yeah.
Adam Thielen's always a top 10, sometimes top 7 receiver in the NFL. And they have a great rookie tight end from Alabama.
Yes.
Not rookie, it's his sophomore year. Irv Smith Jr., who's kind of catching Kyle Rudolph and taking his spot. Irv Smith Jr. had 2 touchdowns last week. He only had 2 catches.
Yeah, I picked him up last week.
Started him off.
I started him and picked him up last week.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
See, that's a tight end plug and play. In this league, tight end plug and plays are where it's at right now.
I've seen that. I was reading the stats on him. I was like, picked him up. It
He's
was home run for me. I think it was like 15, 16 points a game.
100%. He had 2 catches for 10 yards. But those 2 catches were touchdowns.
Yes.
So in our league of PPR, that's a great pickup.
And I think Rudolph is on his way out.
I think
he's been on his way out.
He's been. That's why they drafted this kid
Yeah.
high. I think he was a 2nd-round pick.
And he's a monster, too.
He's a freak of nature, and he's from Alabama. He's under Nick Saban.
He's going to be a red zone guy.
Oh,
he's not
easily.
going to be, like, what's his name?
But
From,
he does have a lot of speed.
Yeah.
I think he ran like a 4.5, 4.6.
Yeah, but, he's not a... I think he's better in the red zone. I just think he's a big guy. He can muscle a lot of those balls.
Well, they should always be there.
Yeah.
With Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, and Justin Jefferson, they should always be in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of my crazy questions is, would you take the minus 11.5 Green Bay Packers over the Jaguars?
No.
You want to touch that?
I want to touch that game.
No Minshew.
I want to touch that game.
No Minshew.
I don't care. Green Bay scares me.
They scare you.
They scare me because they let some teams play with them.
Okay, so you say they play to the level of competition?
I feel like they do. I feel like Aaron Rodgers don't shine unless they bring him up to that level.
Okay.
If he's not into the game, I feel like the game just loses his way. He'll get the win. They're going to win. It's just a rough call. I think it's a lot. It's double-digit points. These double-digit points are scary.
They are home. Jacksonville has to go to Green Bay, and it's starting to get a little cold.
I know, but that's a lot of points. These are NFL teams, and when you hit the double digits, it's rough to really figure it out. I believe people are going to hammer Green Bay a little bit.
You think so?
The line might move up even a little bit,
Ooh.
12 or 13 maybe.
Okay.
But it's just.
I don't know, man. You might want to touch that
I don't think it's
game.
a lock.
I would never say it's a lock. Anything double digits is hard to say a lock. But you might want to flirt with that game a little bit.
What's the under in that game? Over and under.
Let me see if I get the under. I think it's around 45 points.
I would take the under. If it's anything 44 up, I'll go under. I think it might be a low-scoring game. Maybe like a 21-14 or 21-10 game.
So that's what you're going with. 52 is actually the total.
I would hammer the under.
You would hammer the under.
Hammer the under.
So what do you think your score prediction would be then?
I think that game is like 21-14. Maybe 24-17 around there.
24-17?
I think it's going to be a touchdown difference.
Really?
I don't think it's double-digit difference.
So you think they linger around that much?
I think Aaron Rodgers opens up the first half, takes the 2-touchdown lead. Second half, they come out, they start running the ball.
Okay. I can see that. I can see it all
Couple,
happening.
Swing passes here and there, and just slow the game down. Run out the clock.
I think it might be a little pretty good game to go. Because if James Anderson can get that run game going, because Dalvin Cook ran for 200 yards on that defense, and they didn't improve at all in defense.
That's only if Packers go in the locker room, they're up 7 to 10 points, right? They come out the second half.
Yeah.
They let them come back.
Okay.
They let them come back. that's when Aaron Rodgers might put his foot down, pedal to the metal, and just run the score up.
Let these boys know
That
what
I
they
can
gotta
see
do.
happening.
Okay.
But if they come in and Jaguars never show life again,
Yeah.
I think Rodgers just gets bored.
Just lets it go.
Let's
Especially with
run
Aaron
the
Jones.
game, yeah.
Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams probably both back healthy.
I think they just run the ball. But it depends. Like I said, it depends how the Jaguars play. The Jaguars actually play them tough.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Rodgers might put up points. Okay. But I like the under, man. I really like the under more than the point spread. I think the point spread is too much of a difference.
And I forgot to talk about, for the Chargers-Dolphins game, it's actually 2 rookie quarterbacks.
Yes.
I forgot. It's Tua versus Justin Herbert. Now, if Tua wins this game and he goes to 3-0 as a starting quarterback, does he start climbing in that conversation of Rookie of the Year? Or is it really because of the defense?
I think it's more Coach of the Year.
Coach of the Year?
I felt like Fitzpatrick's, he did great in that system.
Of course.
Tua hops right in and it's still clicking. First game a little slow, but it's clicking now. But I think they should have left Fitzpatrick. So I think 100%. They could make a playoff run.
100%.
Even, they might not win the championship, but they might get to, win a playoff game even.
And like you said before, you think the Browns are definitely locked against the Texans. Mm-hmm. That just helps the Finns out more. Yeah. Because the Finns have that first-round pick. Mm-hmm. So if that starts going to a top 5 pick, which it is now, it's going to help that playoff team already get better.
I think Miami's going to be a good young team.
Very good young team.
Like I said, we talked about it last podcast. I think they have to fix some veteran relationships. Yeah. We're pulling the plug with Fitzpatrick, but they're a good young team. And like I said, that game, it's a rough game.
No, 100%.
I think the Chargers might win that game.
Okay. I think the Finns actually do win that game.
We'll see. Your TikTok picks haven't been too good. So.
I have whoa. Went 12-2 last week though.
Last week,
12, and I called Buffalo beating Seattle. Yeah. My TikTok predictions will be on tonight. I missed yesterday because I was too busy playing the PlayStation 5. I apologize. Yeah. It was too good to pass up.
Well, all right, let's move on from that.
Sorry, little Xbox.
We'll go to UFC. Big announcement today.
Ooh.
Overeem versus Alexander Volkov signed for February 6th.
We talk about Alexander Volkanovski so much on this show already. And now he's actually getting a big fight with Overeem. Mm-hmm. And like we were texting off screen, we believe that the winner of this gets John Jones.
Yeah, and listen, they both have a great resume. Overeem's 4-1 in his last 5 fights.
Yeah. And his only loss was to Biggie Boy, where he was winning 24 and 50 seconds of the fight. Yeah. 24 minutes, 50 seconds of the fight. Last 10 seconds, he got caught and kind of got put out.
And Biggie Boy's a top 4 in the division. And Volkov, he won the last 2 fights against Hardy and Walt Harris. Yeah. I mean, Volkov, he was in that championship before he got knocked out by Lewis. And that match, he was winning too. He was winning to the last 20 seconds.
Yeah. So these are 2 fighters that gotta close their fights out.
Yes, and I think it's gonna be a big fight. Mm-hmm. I really believe the winner gets John Jones. I really believe it. I feel like they both have great resumes. It's a great first fight for John Jones.
Yeah, because it's great top level competition, but it's not the big scary dudes that are just gonna sit there and try to knock him out.
And whoever wins this fight too gets a nice ranking.
Oh, definitely.
They might get top 6 maybe, 7 maybe 6, 7, 5.
I think they're both top 5 right now, top 10 at least.
I think they're both top 10, but they might move up to that top 5 picture.
Okay. Also today, Paul Fielder and Rafael Dos Santos.
For Fight Night, yep.
They just made weight. Both of them made weight today. So Paul Fielder taking it on a 5-day notice. Comes through, makes weight. Commentator, fighter, cornerman, you name it, he's doing it. He does not care.
Yeah, but what a lot of people don't know is he actually been training for a triathlon.
Oh, really?
So he been in shape. Okay. He been losing weight, so it wasn't that big of a cut. But my point of view, he hasn't been training for fighting.
Yeah, he's been training for distance.
Yes.
So he'll probably stay in this fight.
Where he usually takes him a whole camp to cut weight. Mm-hmm. Didn't take him that long. So it wasn't a big weight cut for him. Dos Anjos used to be a champion in this division.
Still talking about fighting Conor.
And he wants to, to get in this division because this is the money division.
Of course. They're fighting what, at 155?
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody wants it in this decision.
Anjos is coming down. He was, I believe he was a welterweight.
170. He's one of his recent fights was Covington, Colby Covington.
But I don't think Fielder's ready for him.
You don't think so?
I think Dos Anjos going to win.
I hope Fielder wins, but like you said, He didn't have a full camp.
But
He took
if
it on a
Fielder
5-day
wins,
notice.
let me tell you, he's in that big picture if he wins.
100%.
5-day notice. I believe he has a couple nice wins under his belt.
Yeah, I don't think he lost to what's his name. He beat Barboza, and then I don't think he lost to Dan Hooker.
Mm-hmm.
I think he lost because they were in New Zealand. I don't think he lost that fight though. I think he lost because of where he was and who were the judges and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's rigged or anything, but it's kind of how it is sometimes.
Well, Uncle Dana said, if you want to win, don't let it go to the judges.
1,000,000%. We bring that up all the time. You have to win in the ring.
Yeah. Because me and you will score fights all the time.
100%.
The judges give a guy 3 in a 5-round fight, give him 4 rounds. Like,
for a takedown, that was.
Where's the 4th round?
Yeah, he took him down for 2 seconds. That's not truly a takedown. You didn't do no damage over there.
Well, let me tell you, I like an undercard fight.
Oh, who you got?
I like this kid, Brandon Allen.
Okay.
He was on one of that, what's that show he has?
The Contender Series?
He was a Contender Series sign.
Okay.
He's 4-0 in the UFC.
15-3 first pro career.
He's 4-0 in the UFC. Nice win streak going on.
Okay.
He's fighting against Sean Strickland, who just fought on Halloween.
Oh, so he's turning around a quick fight.
Brandon Allen, in the last few fights, his opponents dropped out.
Really?
Either injury or this, and even this fight, another drop out. Strickland, stepped up. But Strickland, I don't think he's on the same level as Allen. Allen's a young kid. He's hungry. He's ready to come in. And I just think he's better prepared. So Brandon's used to fighting these guys, not knowing who they are, where they come from. Either knocking them out or even going long in the fight, too.
These Contender Series are looking really good.
Oh, yeah. And Allen looks good. I love it. I think he was at plus 110 at one point.
Really?
I mean, I would hammer them.
You would hammer that one.
Hammer it. I really think he's going to win. He has great jiu-jitsu. He's been fighting since he was 14. He won tournaments as a kid.
So this is his life. This is nothing
life.
different.
He's been doing
his
it,
record shows 18 fights, but he's had a lot more than what it shows.
Well, yeah, a lot of amateur, a lot of jiu-jitsu fights.
Okay.
Like I think he's great. I think Sean Strickland, he's a little older.
100%.
I mean, I think he went full fight. He fought all 3 rounds on Halloween.
It's also a catchweight fight.
Yeah, the last few fights Sean Strickland fought was a catchweight.
Okay. So they're fighting at 185.
Yeah, because you can't make him cut in a whole week again.
No, he can't do that. I respect him for taking this fight, but like you said, with a new upcomer like that,
Fielder, it would be a middleweight. He's a middleweight fighter.
Fielder is?
Yeah.
Also, yeah, this is lightweight. Okay.
So Fielder is not cutting. I assume he's not cutting weight. Now, if he is, a couple pounds. So he'd be extra heavy for this fight. But his ground game is really good. I was watching some of his videos because he was a champion in the other league he was in before he came to the Contender Series.
Yeah.
And his ground game is really good. His defense game is very good. He can knock out an opponent. He loves the rear naked choke.
So you think he's going to start... This is where he starts making a name for himself? Okay.
I think he's like a number 20 on the list.
Mm-hmm.
And he was supposed to fight a guy who was 18.
Okay.
So them 2 fighting will make him maybe a 15 or 16 fighter.
Yeah.
And then after that, man, he just
keep
I think he might be on his way like how Sugar was.
Yeah.
Started from the bottom, hasn't made much money, on a nice winning streak. But I think once he gets that top 15 opponent, I really think he'd be one of those next guys rising up in that division.
Yeah, he has to be.
Especially the middleweight division, it's very top heavy right now.
Very
so you can work your way up through the ranks.
Yeah, the middleweight's very top heavy. However, Israel beat all of them. They're top heavy, but the only person he hasn't beat in this top 5 is Jack Hermanson, who just has a brand new fight. Was supposed to be fighting Darren Till, but Darren Till got hurt with injury, and now Kevin Holland.
Isn't that the second time Till's been hurt?
Darren Till having to back out, Kevin Holland steps in to try to go 5-0 in 2020.
Yeah,
who's unranked. So it's great that Jack is actually taking this fight, but now with him coming up, this could make a name for him. And his actual last fight, Kevin Holland, Israel Adesanya almost went at it.
Yes.
From in the cage and outside the cage. So this is kind of building up to something nice.
Yeah.
I don't think Kevin Holland wins and he jumps to 5th. I'm not saying that.
And I really don't think Izzy's gonna fight this division again.
No, it might be done.
I think he's done.
He just gives the title back up.
I think he surrenders the title.
And Robert Whittaker
unless
just takes
something
it back.
crazy happens where it's a huge interim title fight, and they like huge knockout or something. But
Yeah, the only person he hasn't fought was
Izzy cleaned out the division.
Jared Cannonier just lost to Robert Whitaker.
Yeah.
Israel made Robert Whitaker look like he was never champion.
Mm-hmm.
He beat Yoel Romero. Jack Hermanson lost who lost to Jared Cannonier. So you like if we're doing the math, the fighting math, it's not even that well.
Well, the math for that is the number one contender is Whitaker.
Yeah.
Because
And
Whitaker
Whitaker backed out.
cleaned out the division
Yeah.
next to him.
Yeah.
So I think what's happened, Izzy moves up, Izzy stays up.
You think so?
He's going to sit and wait for John Jones.
We're always talking about John Jones.
I really think, let me tell you, if John Jones goes against Overeem or Alexander, just say he loses. He's running right back now.
Yeah.
He's not taking another fight.
No. He can't. He'd have to run it hard, to be honest.
Because then if you lose 2 in heavyweights, he's done.
Yeah.
He's done.
You can't.
He can't come back from that.
No.
So if he loses once up there, he's coming back down. He's going to fight Izzy for one more fight. If he beats Izzy, whole new story. Izzy wins, I think Jones is done.
Yeah, I think if Izzy beats John Jones, I think John Jones retires.
Because Izzy talked a lot of shit.
A lot of shit. The only thing that sucks is that Amanda Nunes also had to pull out of her fight for personal reasons.
She just had a kid.
She did, right?
Yeah.
So I think she's pulling out for that. I 100%.
Her wife had the kid recently.
Yeah.
I think September.
Okay.
So I think she probably wants time off.
And hey, I would never disrespect her demands for what she's piggybacked this division for. Yes, she's wrecking it on some Demetrius Johnson stuff, but no one talks about women fighting besides when they're talking about this girl, Amanda Nunes.
I mean, she took out Cyborg.
She cleaned Cyborg.
She cleaned out both divisions.
Easily. She beat everybody in the top 5.
Like they're talking about she has to drop all the way down to the lowest weight to fight
Shevchenko again?
which she
For
can't.
the third time?
She can't physically make that
No,
weight.
she's not making that weight. There's no way.
Shevchenko would have to come up. And she won't, though, because she fights more comfortable at the way she is.
She already fought Amanda Nunes twice, and she felt that she got robbed the second time when they fought.
Yeah, but she feels more comfortable at that weight. She don't like
100%.
moving up.
She moved up and lost, so why would she? It
And I
doesn't.
think the UFC is struggling to get what's that top division for women?
The bantamweight.
Whatever the top weight is.
It is the women's featherweight.
Yeah, they're struggling to get women.
If you look at the rankings right now in UFC, it just shows Amanda Nunes. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't even show like a top 5 or anything.
Because they really don't have. That's a division that way they made up for Cyborg.
Just so Cyborg took,
Just so Cyborg could fight.
and then Cyborg got knocked out.
Yeah, which they didn't think was going to happen. So
No.
now they're kind of stuck with it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Cejudo and Mighty Mouse thing where if Mighty Mouse won, that division was done.
Oh, it was gone.
But Cejudo kept it going. So by Nunes winning, they kept it going.
That's kind of
So they'll plug in fighters.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was a plug-in fight for the featherweight fight.
Yeah.
So I think that's why she pulled out. She's like, I don't really want to make
what's
this
her
weight
name
anyway.
from Canada? That girl from Canada fought her
Yeah.
very well, but
The best that she could, but it wasn't a good fight.
she's on a different level, Nunes.
She's different.
They say she could beat some men.
Some
at
men
her
easily.
weight, and
Some men easily.
what she can do is amazing. Her training, everything.
She doesn't truly have a weakness. Her stand-up game isn't the best.
They talk about 5 tool baseball players. She has all the tools.
Oh, easily. She can do anything
She
she
can knock
wants.
you out, tap you out. She can go all 5 rounds. With you.
She already beat the top 2 fighters in Holly Holm and Jermaine D.
She cleaned out
Random.
the
She
UFC women.
Easily.
She cleaned out. And UFC's struggling to get anyone to fight her because you
Nobody
fight
wants
her,
to fight her.
she ends your career.
That's it.
Yeah.
These girls are top 4, top 5 in the world right now, and they're kind of like, we'll kind of just wait for Amanda to retire, or
Yeah.
just call it done, call
They're
it a
picking
night.
out girls from other
Other leagues.
subsidiary companies
Yeah.
they have. They have the PFL and all that. They take fighters from there, but I don't know, man.
It's
Amanda gets good pay-per-views.
of course, everybody likes to watch her fights.
But like, I don't know, her fights are getting boring to me.
Yeah, it's kind of.
She's winning.
It's the same thing with Mighty Mouse. It's not her fault.
Yeah.
We're very happy that you're the best at what you do,
Yeah.
but when you kind of know the outcome before you watch it, it's hard to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to watch.
It was like DC and John Jones before them two were fighting against each other. Both of them were cleaning out the division. So it was boring.
Yeah, there was no reason to watch a light heavyweight
Yeah.
fight. The only one that kind of came up in that conversation was Rumble Johnson, and Rumble Johnson, if he didn't knock you out, he was kind of losing.
Yeah.
And he was just swinging for the fences.
That's what most guys do against top competitors because if you're not swinging, they'll just slow you down.
100%. Well, I feel like we answered everything.
I mean, like I said, for the people who watch the Twitch, we apologize for earlier.
Oh, we are so sorry. It just came out of nowhere, to be honest with you. It was a brand new problem. We did fix it though. We believe that we got everything corrected.
Mm-hmm.
We do sound nice. So hopefully we'll be better on with our TikToks this week and our YouTube channel as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll most likely have podcast number 3 up on Anchor later today.
Yeah, we'll try to do it today.
Okay. So
we'll try to even get this up by today or tomorrow on Anchor. And we appreciate you guys for the ride. Please follow us on Instagram,
Twitter,
all that good stuff. We're everywhere. Help us out, and thank you for listening.
Have a good one, man.
Have a great day.
See you later, man.